Okay, today I'm going to record a live video on how I make my own simple site based on what I'm learning so far from Markus's excellent work. First thing I'm going to do is change the rules because he wants me to put every new simple site on a new domain. I say, why not test it first as a subdomain? And so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to set a site up which was formerly a page, and now I'm going to turn it into its own subdomain site. A subdomain site, if you will. So the first step in this is to go in and create a subdomain. So the reason I'm using a subdomain is because I want to make the keywords whatever I want. And you can go on a subject or a market like Fix and Flip, and it's really competitive and all the best keyword URLs are taken. So you can have whatever URL you want as long as you make it a subdomain. So that's what I'm going to do here. And I can switch it up and test different subdomains and figure out which one would be the best and most worth investing money into an actual domain for. But I'm wondering if I can even bypass that whole step and just run everything on a hub site, and you have a hub site with subdomains around it. So we're going to use fix hyphen, and I use hyphens to make it more searchable. If you run the words all together, you get a nonsense word, and other characters like lower underscores don't seem to work as well as a regular all hyphen. So I'm going to fix and flip, and I'm also going to go for rehab or repair. I'm going to go with repair. I'd like to make it a long one, say experts too, but I'm not going to stretch it because I want it to look good on a text ad. So that's for about as long as I would dare to go with a subdomain name, unless I'm going for long tail. Next step then is to order the domain, create it, and it'll crunch on the numbers a little bit. I shouldn't even record this, but I will, because look how fast it goes. Isn't that something? As fast as I can exit out, I can get to my information. So I have that. It's active. It's happy. Now I want to edit it. So now that you have your new subdomain, go back to one-on-one's control panel page, and in domains, you'll see your hub domain, I'm calling it, and actions. We want to manage subdomains. Apparently that happens a lot, seeing how that's the first thing that shows. This is the subdomain. And that's what it looks like now. You get that if you type in the domain, which I already tested and saw. Now, what we want to do is use the domain. Use it or lose it, right? Create a website. There's interesting options though. Connect to web space. Connect your domain to a directory in your web space. Connect a website, so you can make this a pass-through. Forward domain, a forwarding site. Settings. Connect your domain to your page on an external website or social media service. And create an email address, which I will need for my mailing list. But back to create a website. And I use WordPress. I don't care what you use. I know a lot of cool people use WordPress, and so do I. Does that make me cool? I don't know. You tell me. But this is what I want. Website title. We shall make that fix your flip profitably. And I'm going to go hyphen repair specialist. I'll reverse it. Alright, a little longer than I want, but it gets a lot of good words in, and some people say you go along with these anyways. So I will create this website with my great title, with the benefit right in the title, and sit there while the computer, oh, not even enough time to tell it. So now I do my login, password, repeat password, por favor inglés, and check that you've read it, and continue. So let's get to work. First thing we want to do is in our App Center, we select the domain, fixandfliprepair.motivationnation.com, and we will assign the domain. And boom, white screen. And soon you're going to have your gateway. When you get to your gateway point, you want to make sure that you save it as a favorite so that you'll have easy editing later. I like to use just capital letters edit and then hyphen, then the name of the page that it edits, and have that in your favorites so that you can quickly navigate when you're doing your updates. So we will go to edit the website. And you can't see it, but what it says is it's got the name of the website /WP. I'll type it here so you can see what I'm saying. /WP -login .php. So whatever your subdomain is, you take the whole string, you put WP -login and PHP on it, and you'll always be able to get to the site in edit mode. In this case though, I've got an actual password and name to use, so let me do that on pause mode. Okay, so now we're in. We've got our WordPress site opened up. Let's go and do some stuff to it. First of all, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to use a WordPress template and leave the rest of this stuff alone. I'm going to try this one. This one looks pretty good. And it's going to touch my page all up like that until it's finished. And then I can start thinking about plugins. There's a couple plugins that Markus insists on that I think are worth having. So let's see if I can remember all my plugins just without notes. First thing I want to do is not even mess with copy or pictures or any of this formatting stuff. I want to get the nuts and bolts in. So we go down, I see widgets. This menu is slightly different from what I'm used to seeing. Oh, I know why, because I'm in this, oh, back up. Come on, dude, you got this. I ended up in my style editing mode. I don't want to edit the style, I want to edit the actual page. So to get out of that, I need to close this window. Let's change the call to action to get cost analysis. Sounds kind of fancy that way. But there's a thing here about static front page. This is a very in-depth template they have here. Select post, choose post. There's not going to be a post. Certainly not going to be hello world though. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be digging into later after I get this site up and running, but let's get this site up and running first before we mess with anything unnecessary. So we'll close out of that, and we're going to get to regular tools. Once we have the regular tools working, we can start editing this. So before we get out of template editing mode, I do want to go down to home page settings and change it to a static page. Now there's no pages yet because we can't make them from this view, but we will put a page there eventually, but I want that to be ready. Publish as we go. And go back. And we will start looking at how these pages go. Now there's additional pages. So here in my text file I have some ideas of pages I want to add, like buying a fixer-upper. And for each one I want to have a list of benefits and a list of features so I can rough out the information that's going to go on the page. If you get in the habit of doing that early on, you can really save a lot of hassle and be a lot more organized. Home repair, home renovation estimates for real estate investors. Just copy that. Put that in here. Let's add another one. It's a nice page. We will go to home repair financing. Very hot topic. And I think I had one more there. Let's go for sale by owner advice. Because 4 pages is really all you need for one of these simple sites. That's why they're simple, right? So put that in as the last new page. And now for some reason it seems to think that there isn't a home page. I'll leave it like that. And publish. No, right? The other thing I want to do, I was thinking of just putting the site together right here in this application. I'm half tempted to do that, because I'm not seeing any of my home page stuff anymore. Fix that, flip right every time, so that I got a benefit right in the title. And then I'll repeat the premise of home repair specialist. There's home repair specialist, and I need a capital R there since it's still headline territory. And content area. And so again, we'll see if we can see that. Okay, so now we've got our 4 pages. Sample page can go away. How do I do that? I wonder if I can do that from here. Let me see. All my pages can be worked on otherwise. So let's take a look at what kind of junk comes on one of these pages when you get it. Go into edit. Fill-in-net performance ads, by the way, has not worked well for me. I don't like using them. So it looks like nothing to work with here. So when we go to view the page, we can't even view it from here. We have to hit the link. So this is where it starts. And again, we can go back to our dashboard, look at our pages again. Let's work on widgets now. Got a whole bunch of widgets here that we aren't ever going to use. So search bar, no. Recent posts, no. Recent comments, no. Archives, what? Categories, no. Meta, we'll keep that. But we're not going to have that in the main sidebar, though. We're going to have that probably in the bottom. Footer widget. So we'll go down to footer widget, put it there. Search, no. Categories, no. But I'll tell you what I will put there, though, if it's got it handy. Tag cloud. It's always handy. And I can actually put them in if I copy them from another site, but I don't have that handy. But I'll just copy the tags over from my demo site. So that's good. Categories, no. It won't let me remove categories, though. I don't know why it's being that way. There it goes. I just didn't drag it far enough away. Top widget, no. Color font, gallery, home. None of these really have anything on it, which is good because that's just stuff you'd have to remove and start over with. Left sidebar, right sidebar. We're not really going to use the sidebar, so I'm going to pull all this stuff off. Main sidebar. So now we should have a clean page. Let's go and get out of appearance. And we will go into plugins. So let's add some new plugins. Now, some that I always like are